There are several automotive trends. Let's start with automotive intelligence. As you know, this is a very important topic, a very important challenge for all industry players, especially for OEMs. So what we're doing at the Volkswagen Group in this regard is that we are actually joining forces with established players. Like for instance, we're working very closely with Argo, which are experts in automotive intelligence, and that's how we're actually trying to foster this technology within the company. Nevertheless, we also take a look at our own R&D capabilities, and we have actually founded a new company which is called Volkswagen Automotive that will be driven by our Volkswagen commercial vehicles company. So that's one of the trends that we continue to see as a very important one in the 5 to 10 years coming ahead. Actually, with automotive intelligence, we will be very likely able to bring also the robo-taxi, which is a project that we're working at the moment with Airbus. So as you can see, we're actually taking a look at an inside approach to see at our own capabilities, but we're also taking a look at, let's say, outside the company, as we didn't probably necessarily have to do with other technologies in the past. So this is what we're seeing as a very important trend. Automotive intelligence, of course, electrification. You know, electrification, we need to ensure to comply with the very tough standard on emissions that we have in the coming years. So we believe that the electric engines and the electrification of our company will certainly help a lot in that purpose. So that's a very important technology and a very important trend that at least we as a group continue in the future. Another one is, of course, let's say these changing demographic patterns, these changing technologies is also creating, let's say, new needs among our customers. One of the things that we need to do as a company is to work very strongly on the software topic. We have been very strong in the past in sharing parts among the different platforms that we have, but at the moment we have a very complex set out in the number of electronic control unit software developers that we have, and of course our own architecture. This creates a very high complexity, so we have actually realized that we need to change. So we're undergoing at the moment a transformation that will allow us to better position ourselves in the future when it comes to software. We need to create a single automotive cloud within the Volkswagen Group that allows every brand to grab to these resources, and at the same time we're also working with the brands to ensure that the needs that each of our customers have, be that Audi, be that Bentley, be that Volkswagen, also have an opportunity to somehow customize, but all based on the same platform that will allow us to achieve the synergies that we were so successful in the past with sharing common parts, for instance. If you take a look at the number of vehicles that we sold last year, 10.8 million vehicles. If we're able to bring this automotive cloud, you can imagine that the cost per unit will significantly be reduced if we're able to use one platform for the whole group. So I would say that these are three important, let's say, topics that we will continue working in the future, and that are without a doubt very important for the company's sustainability. So I would actually probably focus on those ones at the moment. It will depend pretty much, at least for the Volkswagen Group. I believe that these topics that I told you about, artificial intelligence, this autonomous driving being one of the key patterns in there, the electrification, but also this digitalization. That's the way that I would actually summarize the software topic that I explained to you. These will continue in the future, at least the next 5 to 10 years. So in 5 years, we should definitely be able to reap out the benefits of all these investments that we're doing. And when I talk about investments, I'm not only talking about money. It's not only the 30 billion that we will invest in electrification, it's also about the cultural change that we need in a company. I mean, even if you take a look at all the resources that you would invest, if you don't generate a cultural change within the company that allows you to welcome these technologies, also with the human resources, with the mentality that you need, I don't want to say that it would be useless, but it would be very hard to match the new technologies with the old way of doing business. So we see these trends to continue. Of course, the Robocop, the robotaxi, is certainly going to be a very interesting project. The question, when will this actually be able to be implemented? I believe it depends pretty much on several topics that are not only, let's say, driven internally, but it will also depend on the customer demand and, let's say, how fast we're able to bring this, let's say, to an economical option for somebody to use it. But we'll definitely continue working in that regard. And I believe that those will be the ones in which we believe there's a big future. Of course, we should not forget about the fact that electrification is, of course, one of the core pillars of our strategy in the future, but we should definitely continue to explore additional driving technologies, fuel cell, for instance. So we will not stop our, let's say, R&D programs exclusively to one technology, but we will definitely focus on that one. It's actually been a very, very good opportunity to take a look at the very big Eastern European market. When we talk about Eastern Europe, sometimes we forget that it's 1,000 kilometers, more than 25 countries actually embedded in there. So it's actually a very good opportunity to take a look at the supplier market that we have in there. And the last days have been very interesting. We have been actually meeting companies throughout the whole Eastern European region. And it's also a very good opportunity to keep ourselves updated with the new technologies, with the new companies that could be the possible champions of tomorrow. So also an excellent networking opportunity and a very professional, let's say, communication with the organizers. So we're actually very happy to be part of this event this year, and we will very likely be happy to be next year here as well.